What's good,
Turkeys.
party people? This is the Woods and Wade podcast. I'm Woods, or according to Woods, or whatever the fuck, and she is Claudia Wade, and we are talking about Turkey Day because in what is it? Not North America because Canada has
And the
their own.
states.
Yeah, in the good old Estados Unidos, it's Turkey Day tomorrow, right? So
Was that your attempt to say Estados Unidos?
Estados Unidos. There you go. How about that?
Uh,
Not yeah, okay, cool. But yeah, so in the America, we celebrate the Thanksgiving. But you, when I asked you for a topic earlier today, you said turkey, and I'm all
um,
like, you can't just give me that. So in the thumbnail, if you guys haven't already seen,
I
but I
haven't
put
seen the
the
thumbnail.
country of Turkey, the hand turkey, a turkey on a plate, and a turkey in the living. So I was like, we're gonna talk about this, and I left out the our um uh what is it, ROTC instructor, Sergeant Melendez, who would always call us turkeys,
Yep.
hey you turkey, in this thick, like Puerto
His
Rican
thick
accent.
Puerto Rican accent, bro. His accent was so thick.
Yes, yeah, absolutely, as was his game, because he
He's
might have kind of,
pulling.
yeah, I mean, he tried to hit on, I mean, not tried, he did hit on my mom, like, and my
I'm
teachers, and
pretty sure
make,
he hit on every mom if he could.
I'm just saying. So shout out, I
So,
mean, he is no longer with us, much like our
may,
our mothers, so
may he
RIP.
rest in peace.
Yes, 100%.
Better not
um
be up there trying to hit on my mom.
I mean, you just keep it going. I mean, if you can't work your gimmick, you can't work. So all I'm saying is, there you go. So shout out to Melendez. So yeah, man. So we're talking about turkeys, and you. I mean, what turkey do you celebrate tomorrow? I don't know what better way to
The
ask that. Do you
the one that I'm
celebrate?
gonna cook today, or the one that I'm gonna prep, put in the
Okay,
oven, and eat tomorrow.
okay. Not the country, not Istanbul.
Not at
Are you
all.
are you eating Istanbuli people?
No,
Okay.
not Istanbulian people at all.
All right, 10
I don't eat
points.
people to begin with. Let's just start there.
All right. I mean, I might be Fijian, and we've had a long storied history and checkered past, and I got canines here, so there's that. And don't ask me what I did to a kid who tried to took my Legos that I got for my seventh birthday. They were like WWF Legos and whatever, and he reached
Am I
over and
gonna
tried
have
to
to put
grab
a
it.
muscle on you on this weekend when I see you?
I mean, I don't. Nobody's gonna take anything from away from me, all right?
I don't know. We're playing games. We might.
Oh yes, let's go back to Inglewood and take shit from people. The fuck? Didn't a damn YouTube influencer get $100 million or $1 million? I'm sorry, I'm bad with numbers, but $1 million like stolen from him last night because he got pistol whipped and all that shit. We got snatch and grab robberies, and you're like, come over and light the tree on fire so we can blame it on you, and we'll play a game where we steal from you.
So
I'm
one,
very excited. In the words of Borat, I'm very excited.
you should be, because first of all, there's no reason for you to be walking around Inglewood with $1 million worth of anything
100%.
without security
Okay.
that is armed
You mean
and
like
surrounding you.
you mean Blondie from Crozier Middle School, the security, or George, or Tank from Inglewood Security,
He
right?
was dope.
Yeah. So unless you got a big burly guy named Tank,
Then
don't
don't
walk
come
around
to
with
Inglewood.
jewelry in Inglewood.
Yeah, like, and to me, I think it's just anywhere, not just Inglewood.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe even in Australia where Mick Mac joins us. Hey, baby. What's going on? I change up the vernacular of the "Hey baby."
You
That
do.
was more Austin Powers, but yeah. I mean, Turkey. Well, do you have a favorite or one? When was the first time you were cognizant that this was a day that we celebrate and the meaning behind it? Can you remember that?
Um, no, but I do remember my dad because my dad was a chef, and so my dad would take his entire time with brining and prepping and doing everything days prior to Thanksgiving, and then my dad had a stroke, right? And Thanksgiving came around, and I'm also a chef.
Mm.
And so it was like, oh, I guess I get to start my own Thanksgiving thing. And so because we were still here, it was like I had to cook exactly what they wanted. But now, like since I've been doing my own Thanksgiving, I change up my sides. I try to at least.
Like your
Because I
appendix?
like my stuffing
Oh,
or my bean casserole or there's a lot of different things that they change around. But my dad was very like, this is what I want to eat. I want to eat chicken, mashed potatoes, um, whatever, whatever. And it was the exact same thing every year, which is how every household is. But I was like, I'm tired of the mashed potatoes from last year.
mm.
Can we do something else with my potatoes?
Also, I mean, appendixes could be stuffing, theoretically speaking.
Hmm.
So there's that. But I mean, I remember being in like I think it was kindergarten, right? And you made
Hmm.
those turkeys with the
Your
with your fingers and
fingers.
everything like that, and I'd be like so proud to like show my dad and like what I learned because my dad knew so much. Like he was like the most well-read person I knew, you know. So when I go to him and like, hey, I learned all this stuff about Thanksgiving or whatever, and he was like, well, son, do you know that was like the raping and pillaging of natives and shit? And I was like, kindergarten me, little stubby fingers and shit like that, and like I literally felt like the little fucking what is it, construction paper just kind of wilt away, metaphorically speaking. So yeah, like and that was the course. Like he set me up pretty much for the rest of my life in terms of what the expectation was. Like I'd learned something in school, and even like, but really, this is what happens and whatever. And some would
Right.
even say
And
like aliens and like lizard people and shit like that. I mean, it was just that's the way I grew up.
I think it's fine to tell your kids the truth
Yeah.
or what you have learned as the truth. But there has to be a better way to do that, or else we get them traumatized
So yeah, I
and
mean, yeah, I
in
guess.
need of therapy for the rest of our fucking lives.
I mean,
Jesus.
I saw that Youngmi Park lady that escaped North Korea, and she's like, "Ah, therapy? Like, do you know I was like, under a totalitarian regime and whatever, and like, me and my mom were like sold as sex slaves to like whatever the fuck, and I'm here in America, and like, oh, therapy, but also mental health, right? Because like we just had the passing of Jason David Frank. Everybody's
Yeah,
like,
that's
oh, the Green Ranger of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but he was also the White Ranger. Like he
yeah.
died. He, I mean, it sounds weird to say because he actually passed away, but the character passed away. The Green Ranger passed away, and essentially what happened was like there was this new White Ranger. Like, oh my god, who the fuck is this guy? And I don't know if he's like, it was like the Green Ranger all over again. We don't know if he's our friend. We don't know if whatever. He's got this weird
Right.
Megazord and whatever the fuck. Like it's a damn whatever the fuck. I don't know what those dinosaurs are called. I used to.
I don't either.
Briceratops? That feels right.
Triceratops?
No, it was
Whatever.
like a brontosaurus. There you go. There you go. I said a
Yeah.
Briceratops, which Yeah.
But also that gives you a good platform to talk about your kids about suicide, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Like everyone has that mental thing,
right.
and if you don't see someone or talk about it, uh, I I really believe therapy is really good for everyone. I think everyone should do it. I think at least for a month, just to understand it, because people go, "Well, I went once." I don't think that's enough to understand therapy.
Yeah, that's like a
But
trial run, right? That's like, I don't know, in my taking a jujitsu class, right? And then you try it once and you fucking learn a hold or whatever, but don't know how to expand on it. And then you tell everybody, like, ah, fuck, I did jujitsu. Like, you can't, that's a
right,
sample. Like, that's just like getting full off of a Costco sample.
exactly.
That never happens. You need 8 of them at least. And happy Easter, says McMac. 100%.
Happy Easter.
Happy Kwanzaa to you too, sir, because we covered
Here we
that in
go.
the last
Kwanzaa.
episode.
We sure did.
Hell yes.
We learned nothing about it, but we talked a lot about it.
Fuck yes. This is what we do here. Uh, so, I
We
mean,
talked so much about it, yet we still don't understand how it is. But that's
dude,
fine.
again, the
We'll do-
same dad that was just like, hey, but really, this is what happened to the natives, which also flows through our brain, like our veins. Like this is what happened, and I forget. It was like the precursor to cake and conversion therapy. They tried that on the natives first, and were like, we're gonna take away all of your fucking culture and everything like that, right?
Mhm.
So there's that, right? So if that is kind of too young, I don't know, that might have, that's up to for discussion, right? Like too young to tell your kids what's the truth, but you bring up
Yeah.
a a very, I think a crucial point in our society that I don't think was ever as blatant as it is right now, and it has been for the last decade or two. But suicide, right? Because you could go like, "Oh, my kid is 7. How could they conceive and all that stuff?" And that goes with death and mortality.
Mhm.
Is my 7-year-old going to be able to grasp it? But then again, like there are 7-year-olds committing suicide, and I don't mean to laugh, but like this is the world that we live in. You
It's
know?
wild. It's wild because at our age, suicide was something that you didn't think about, you didn't talk about, you didn't. Um, it's very taboo, right? And then when you commit suicide, you're considered someone weak. Oh, you were too weak. Like you should have figured out how to fix your shit, and you were weak and you couldn't, you know, do what you needed to do. But I like the generation now that it's more mental health savvy, right? And it's starting to be less of a stigma within our community
Mm,
and Hispanics, blacks, like that community is taught that if you are in therapy, you're crazy. You shouldn't do that. Only people that are crazy go to therapy. But I'm like, do we understand the difference between a psychiatrist and a therapist? Like, there's two different things, right?
yeah,
Like, it's
I didn't know. I mean,
and
I,
I think that's the problem, right? We don't know that a psychiatrist probably is for crazy people, and a therapist is someone you talk to. Like,
yeah, yeah. Well, so I mean, I can only speak for myself, right? But from what I know, in terms of just even the concept of healthcare in this country, right?
it's
Where,
disgusting.
but it's not just that. I mean, like we're a two generations removed, you and I, from when they used to treat people with leeches, and
Hmm.
you couldn't go to this doctor because the color of your skin.
Right,
You
right,
there wasn't even a glass ceiling. That was the ceiling, and it
right.
was impenetrable, right? And then you hear about stories. I don't know if you know about Henrietta Lacks.
Mm-mm.
So there, the Oprah actually did a and played her in a story of her life, but essentially this lady was basically, she thought she was going in for studies and whatever, and she's somebody that had a lot of kids and needed a way to provide for them. She didn't have a lot of options, so she would go in these studies, and essentially all the things that she was doing test runs for and had side effects from or whatever, where the catalysts were everything from like diabetes to cancer to chemotherapy and whatever. And they were doing tests on her, not telling her. And did she reach any of the financial windfall of all of the things that she literally donated to her body to science in real time when she was still alive
Right.
and suffered in her quality of life, right? Everybody else, the Pfizer's and all the people that were doing the research, she got nothing. Her kids got nothing, and like her last days weren't great. And I'd say last days, I mean like the last decade of her life weren't great because she went through all of the side effects of all the clinical trials and all the bullshit.
I can't
Whatever,
even imagine. That's just
right?
wild.
So I mean, and then and not to talk about the thing that permeated the last 2 years of everybody's lives, theoretically speaking, right? And because we don't want to get kicked off of the YouTube, you can't say the dreaded c word, but there's that, right? And then we're kind of finding out that a lot of people that got quote unquote canceled or whatever and had alternative views of what the narrative was, and unfortunately, those things, as wild as they were 2 years ago, maybe isn't that far fetched, right? So
Right.
there's a general distrust in certain communities amongst the healthcare system and the way that it's. So when you introduce something like that is good, right? It's just like an abused animal, right?
Right.
Where, uh, like, hey, I'm good. Or when you adopt a child that has been through so much, emotional trauma and whatever, and like, no, I'm good. And kid is like, oh, I'm still gonna burn up the house. Like,
Right.
it's the Junior Healy problem child stuff, and
Right.
so I think some of that and I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for anybody else, but there's a general distrust, and I think that mental illness gets kind of lumped in a lot of times with it.
Yeah. But I think the biggest negative part of mental illness is culturally we're taught that it's not a good thing, right? Because if you do anything mental health, one, you're crazy. What is the point? And you're weak because you're doing it, right?
Hmm.
But like, I feel like people that do that are people that wonder, what if I did it? Would that change? Right? And it's like, and everyone's like really scared of doing it just mainly because it's a culture thing. Like, if you tell someone you're going to therapy, oh my God, you're going to therapy? What's wrong with you? Nothing. There there doesn't have to be something wrong with you for you to go to therapy.
Yeah. Well, I
I
mean,
mean, it could be a start and the reason why you go, but
well,
I generally don't think that there has to be a reason for you to go. If you're happy, I think there's a good reason to stay like that, and therapy helps people. If you're grieving, especially, I think if you're grieving, it's one of those things that you
so
need.
let's take, and I know they're kind of fictitious characters, right? But take your pick. It's either Clayton Bigsby from the Chappelle Show skit, uh, you know, uh, Uncle Ruckus from Boondocks, and or Samuel L. Jackson's character in Django, right? Those people in that context, they weren't given a way out. They weren't given like, hey, what's wrong with you? Hey, let's see whatever. It's basically like, oh, you're one of us now, and you're gonna do everything in your power to keep your peaks right
Hmm.
with it, and maybe it's Stockholm syndrome, maybe these people really do believe it, right? But what kind of therapeutic, like who's going to be there, the custodian of a person like that, right? That
Mhm.
when they have all of this around them and they feel like they have to assimilate. Now, if to play devil's advocate, what if everybody went to therapy and you're the one motherfucker that did it? Is it, conceptually, is it the other way around? Does the therapy versus non-therapy kind of argument still apply?
I mean, I think it does. It should. Um, but hold on, move out of my way. We have like an obstacle course with all the kids stuff here.
Oh yes,
Everyone has to maneuver around all the children stuff,
you got young kids. I remember those. Yeah,
and
those
it's
days.
they love to throw everything. They love to throw everything everywhere. No,
Yeah.
but I lost my train of thought.
Choo choo.
That train's long gone.
Oh
So, what kind of
no,
turkey are we talking about now?
I. So
What's the
funny
next
enough, because
turkey?
we were the country turkey. The first time I heard about turkey was my dad's saxophone player, Özbey, uh, and he was from Istanbul. Well, when
Hmm.
I was just like, hey, he looks different. He sounds different. Like where you're from, and he goes Turkey, and I'm all like, wait, your mom's a turkey? I was 7-year old me. I didn't know shit from apple butter. Um,
Right,
yeah. So, but no, that's the first time I'd heard about Turkey, the country,
right,
was through him, and yeah, that was like my uncle, and like he was my dad's saxophone player. One half of the reason why the lights and the got kept on, the place where we live kept on, whatever. So that was the first time I'd heard about that. Now, for me, I also, I guess, the non-traditional, right? We didn't have turkey really. We like my dad. I'm a second generation Costco guy, right? I remember going there when it was still Price Club, and they had not the food
oh my
court.
god, seriously.
Yeah, but they had the Hebrew national cart inside, almost like Home Depot, right? Where
Hmm.
they had the cart inside, and the dude would sell them for $1 and a can of Coke and or Pepsi. You
Uh,
know, so with that being said, this time of year was when they doled out the seafood fest, and they would have the Alaskan king crab. So
mhm.
growing up, middle school and high school years with my dad, we fucking wore the scars of eating fucking Alaskan king crab by
I love
Friday.
crab.
Oh, have you tried the Costco ones that are the legs that are as big as your
So
damn,
good. They're
yeah?
so good.
And we just dip that some bitch in butter,
And
like,
just
oh
high
yeah,
cholesterol in your mouth.
fuck yes, oh man. So
So
that,
delicious.
yeah, so that, I mean, like, for me, I have very, there were times where like we went over to a family's house and they would be like stuffing and
Oh, Jesus. Uh huh.
cranberry, but then we would also have like we would have stuffing and cranberry with like crab or whatever the fuck, like,
Yeah.
or
My mom used to take the leftover turkeys and then make them into. We have this thing called panes con pollo or panes con pavo. Pavo is a turkey,
Mhm.
and it's basically a sandwich with that red sauce. I don't know if you've ever tried it at my house.
No.
If you did it, you probably never will now because my mom was the only one that knew how to make it and liked it.
Oh.
I don't like anything soggy, but it's basically the roll, the long rolls, and they put mayo, they put lettuce. It's like a sandwich. They put cucumbers, they put radishes, the the turkey in the middle, and they recook the turkey with this sauce, and then they just put it in the bun, and then that's how you eat it. So I don't like soggy stuff, so I never liked it. But
Really?
it's so like popular, and it's the most popular thing. It's the most popular thing you'll have in El Salvador during the Christmas time.
Okay.
They make it all the time. Like we would only make it for Christmas or with the leftovers Thanksgiving or even New Year's. But in El Salvador, it's like a regular, normal day to day dish.
So I guess you bring up a interesting type of deal, but like, so I mean, were you and your brothers, you guys were born here, or were you guys born in El Salvador?
My brothers were born here. I was
Yeah.
born in El Salvador, but I came when I was like 2 or 3.
Okay. So no memories.
No, I have zero.
So I guess your parents, because like so I have my dad who, born in Midwest America, whatever, but then my mom, and to see like an immigrant, your immigrant parent, that birthed you here in the
Mm-hmm.
United States, but how they would, t- assimilate, the U.S. holidays along with
Mm-hmm.
it. Like I had a weird whatever. So like my mom was the Buddhist, and then my dad was somewhat like non-traditional Muslim atheist, whatever, believed in an Ankh. Like, yeah, no, it was a wild thing. Like my whole perception of like faith and
Religion.
things, yeah, it's different. And then me myself, like I remember watching George Carlin after 9/11 in New York,
Mm-hmm.
and like I remember
Well, what happened? He's stuck, people. He's frozen. He's not moving. We have lost Woods. Hopefully he comes back. Let's text him and say, "Hey, where'd you go?" Oh man, let's see. Oh, I'm by myself now. Hi guys. Hi McMahon. Let's see. Hmm. Something went wrong with his side of the stream. His internet went down. That sucks, people. His internet went down. So we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do. Um, so,
hi,
hi.
went back up again.
That was awkward.
The internet went to shit. Sorry, people. This is like almost the last episode. I like the vibe. I was like, this is gonna be cool because it's gonna be like the last episode. Like, because I was talking about religion and everything like that, so the aliens didn't get me. So that's what happened. I
And now you're back.
Yeah, I had breakfast with the Yeti.
There you
Yeah, man. So
go.
so yeah, I mean, like watching my parents kind of interact with the holidays was
So
always
wait, did you guys have so you guys did you guys celebrate Thanksgiving at all?
yeah,
Or
fuck yeah, we
celebrated
did.
Thanksgiving?
We did
But did you
everything.
celebrate Thanksgiving as an American, or we're celebrating Thanksgiving because we're supposed to, but we're gonna cook our own food and not specifically.
My dad didn't get militant until I was like, until he got to Crenshaw. So Crenshaw and Lamert Park. That's where my dad like
Mhm.
kind of hung out, and he was just like, oh my god, like he was always drawn to stuff that got us back to, because as a kid he
Goes
got
back to
the
our culture.
he got the whole like go back to your country and shit like that, and it would hurt
Yeah.
him and everything like that. So when
Why do
he
people
became,
say that? I hate
because
it when people say, "Go
because
back
they
to your
got nothing else to
country."
say. Like, unless your name is like an indigenous name of somebody here, like I don't know, Charlie Redbone or some odd, you
I
know.
mean, even they get told to go back to their country.
Yeah, but it's just like you're here. Like I can't remember. There was somebody. There was somebody when like the height of the whole like wall getting built and everything like that. There was somebody like in a reservation that was like, "You're illegal. You're all illegal. What the? This is our land." Like, and I was just like, "That's perfect."
This
And
land is your land.
there
This
was
land is
another
my land.
person, I think, in some sort of legislature and whatever, but they were talking about like, oh, the illegals, and they were like, or immigrants, right? Because that was the
Hmm.
deal. Like, this that was the bill. It was like, oh, if you look like an immigrant, I think it happened in like Arizona, where you had to show your ID if you looked like an immigrant, whatever the fuck that means.
That was legal.
Yeah, that was. Well, I don't know if it got passed into law, but like the opposition, they were like, "Does this look illegal?" And it was like Justin Bieber and Ryan Reynolds, and they just
They're
targeted.
Canadians.
That's still like not. That's an immigrant.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. So there you go. You know, imagine my
Now you right
mom.
here. What you crying
There
for?
he goes.
Right here.
Imagine my mom who spoke
The
English
kids
like
are like they're wilding out, and he's trying to figure it out with them,
it
going back and
happens.
forth.
Yeah, my dogs are fucking trying to eat something. They're weird. But no, it's funny because like my mom, and that's probably why I'm kind of like a language like, because my mom who came over here in '82, she
Mhm.
spoke English in the way like the people in England were, because
Yeah,
she
I
grew up
remember you saying
under.
that.
Yeah, and when they're like, ah, you're not speaking English, and like what, right? So
No,
with
no, you're not speaking English.
right, but that's one of the reasons why, with my dad being born here and went to the army and everything like that, she wanted my sister and I, her kids, to speak English like the Americans. She didn't teach us Fijian at all, not so much the culture. My mom and dad would have fights because she
Hmm.
didn't want to teach the culture, because she had it so rough the first 2 years that she was here, by being different, by being an immigrant, you know, that she was just like, no, my kids are not going to have that life.
Right.
Even you could hear a tinge of accent in me. I wouldn't dare speak like that around my mom. Like, I almost turned into Chandler from fucking Friends. That was the person that I kind of hold on to if I needed to fucking mask my tinge of a British Commonwealth accent.
I don't have I don't have an accent, so people don't think I'm Hispanic at times.
Yeah.
They're like, "You're Hispanic?" Yeah. My
Well,
name
not.
is Claudia Castro.
I've seen some Claudias in the Hamptons
No,
that
yeah,
that
most
are of
definitely.
European descent.
Yeah,
So
100%. But I'm just saying, like, most Claudias in the hood.
wasn't there like a Claudia Schiffer
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was a
yeah.
super? Yeah, there you
She's
go.
a supermodel in the
She's
90s.
not. She's not of Latin descent, I don't
I
think.
wonder where she's from.
Belgium
Have
is
you
where I'm going with.
have you have you done a 21andMe or a
No, you know why?
why?
Because then they have my DNA. They could implicate me in a crime. Do you not
Um
know the 80s and 90s where they were planning DNA and shit on other people and framing people for crimes?
I'm okay with that.
I do. I do. Again, you don't know my dad. My dad. Like there's certain things that I do in my life, and I like my wife and sister just like, oh, you're turning into dad. I don't like. Yeah, but also like the stuff that dad was talking about in like 2005 are coming true today,
Right.
and so I'm just saying. But in any
I did do mine.
the point that I was trying to make is like, so that was my mom who spoke English, so I can only imagine what it must be for anybody else who doesn't speak any iteration of English and coming over to the States, and like you go back where you came from, you don't
Right.
belong here, you don't go here. So that just, but also like I said, like the how my parents would interact with the holidays. Like I don't like the holidays at all, and we kind of discussed that.
I know that's
Um,
crazy to me.
but my parents both did. My parents both did. And there was a point, I think when I was 8, when things were still normal, that I, because I didn't see the evil.
What was the last date, the last year that you saw everything in a normal eye?
Uh,
I guess you could say in a normal eye.
say 7. Say 7.
That's a very long time.
Yeah, so it's literally 30 years.
Yeah, which is why I think, right, this is completely my point. How therapy should be the norm, right? Because you probably won't work through your shit by yourself. And then why can't I find where the hell I'm from? I
Wait,
was gonna
I mean, I want to go with like your parents, and then you kind of go back from there, right? I mean, I don't want to be
but oh,
presumptuous.
so let me tell you, this is
Okay.
why let me tell you why I did the 21 Me thing.
Because you wanted to see 21 people in you?
Negative.
That's what I think about when people say like, "Oh, have I did the
I am not
20."
that kind of girl.
I wasn't implying that. I There could have been like pieces, like you could have been the people under the stairs or the Chainsaw Massacre, where they just people skin and as a mask and do a little kooky dance. I don't know.
So according to
Sold it 100%.
according to
What?
I am 34% indigenous American
Okay.
from the Yucatan Peninsula. So pretty much I'm Mexican.
Oh,
Because Yucatan is part of Mexico.
right.
Then I'm indigenous American from Central America.
Okay.
So we went from Mexico to Central. And then I'm 21% Spanish. Those three things, when you look at those three things in a map, you go, oh, that's what happened.
There was a three-way
So,
somewhere.
right. And I'm like, so the Spanish came, stole us, or stole some. There's African in there somewhere. Very low
Has to be.
percentage, but there's African in there anyway. So, with all of that said, I'm like, we're from everyone, from everywhere.
Yeah.
Let's just live. Let's just open the borders and just live in America or
I've
wherever.
Yeah. To me, I don't see the whole big point of that whole ideology, right? Because like, we got to secure our borders, whatever. But like, it's people from other places that make shit cool. Like one of the reasons why I love living in LA is I could get a fucking, you know, Korean barbecue sope, Nashville fried chicken fried.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. We go to a farmers market every Saturday with Jay with the kids, and my 1 year old knows exactly our route within the farmers market. That so there's our white dude with the best coffee fucking ever, and it's like he has a line,
That's not a generalization, folks. He just happens to have it.
right? So no, it's like this really cool surfing sounding white dude. He's super dope. Like he is dope. And he like plays jazz and he'll make your coffee and he's like singing at the same time. He has the best coffee ever. So we go to him first. And I'm saying this just so you can like under so we can talk about that whole generalization of different people or not generalizing the same type of people, but down that same aisle, my son knows. Oh, after coffee, we go see the pastry lady. The pastry lady is a black French woman,
Oh, Creole.
has wonderful pastries, and Xavier always goes up to her and hi, and then points at what he wants. Right. And then go down the other aisle. We go to the Mexican lady with her tamales, with Mexican tamales. My favorite thing to get at the farmers market is Korean barbecue for the one spot. And next to that, they have like empanadas from Uruguay or something like that.
Wow.
So it's like, it's a plethora. Like, if we were not all here, like, we would never know any of these foods,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and it's funny, in terms of the affluent folk, right? Because when they have money, right? When you have money, what do you get to do that people without money don't get to do? Is travel,
Travel.
right? So you go to travel to the places that the people, when you go back to your home country, you
Hmm.
go, nope. You fucking turn into the Spice Girls. Stop right now. Thank you very much. Like that's where you
That was
go.
awful, but sure.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's what the people at the border is doing. Like, stop right now. Thank
Hmm.
you very much. Never mind.
But I'll take
Uh,
your tacos, right?
I mean, consent is always sexy. Jesus Christ.
Sometimes.
You said take your tacos. I was like, holy shit. Where did we
I meant
divulge?
like I meant like the Mexican tacos from across the border that you're stopping. But that's fine.
Okay.
Any
Uh,
taco's fine at this
right
point.
on. 10 points. Choco Taco. McMax says
I
he
love
was.
taco tacos.
They fucking canceled it. God damn.
Not if you get it from the Mexican trucks. Yes, I did say the Mexican
Hey,
trucks. But if you go to, because I had some after they said they canceled it, and I was like, oh, you have choco tacos?
they probably
And the
charge
guy
you
was like,
$8
yeah,
for you.
I don't care. I'm going to have a choco taco.
There you go.
What did he
Uh,
say?
McMax says I was drinking the other day and accidentally tweeted that Eric Bischoff should have been in the Village People. That's amazing. McMack, you got to give us a little bit more. Like, which person would he have been? Like Eric Bischoff,
Yeah,
former WCW president, creator of the NWO,
we could
WWE
be
Hall of
the.
Famer. I mean, I don't want to just go like, oh, he's the construction guy
I think he
or
would
the
be
leather
the one with
guy
the.
in chaps.
That's what I was gonna say.
Jesus Christ. McMac,
That's what I
please
was
talk
gonna
to us. Oh, so
say.
you're that? I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's the native.
I think he's the one with chaps. I mean, he works
Was there a
out. I'm
black
pretty
guy in the
sure
Village People?
there was. Oh, he was the one with the
Construction or the chap?
the chaps.
They all trying to fuck the black guy, even still, even in the Village People. Yeah, there you go. He should be the
He should
cop.
be the cop. Let's see what was the village people. All
People want
right,
to fuck the
Google.
black guy. Oh my god! If it's true, wait. I think I can pull it up on screen. Let's see the Village People. Let's see Village.
Was there two black guys?
I I mean, I don't. You know what? If you would have asked me 10 years ago, I would have known exactly what the fuck the Village People were. But no. Okay, so
There's a cop.
wait,
There's
let
a
me bring it up. Let me, yeah. Let's see. Where is it? Share screen, Microsoft tab, and we got the Village People. Yeah, so let me full screen one of that. There is
That one shows two black
there are
dudes.
two black guys.
Power to your people.
Oh shit!
Because
I
there's
mean,
two of me.
I don't know what's because you're like, oh wow, they're the that's kind of a reverse. Like, this is like, you know, within a decade remove of like, Martin Luther King getting shot, and we're like, oh, we took your leader, but we can give you two military people in the Village People. You got two slots, and they're both going to be authoritative, but not as authoritative as the biker and chaps or the construction worker and or the cowboy. What the fuck? Like, oh my god, this is weird.
He should be the cop. No.
He's the cop.
Yeah.
He's the cop.
Well,
Just
then I think Eric Bishop should be the construction person.
I, you know what? We're gonna ask him. We're gonna see what Village People. I don't know. It's a character, right? Because like they were real
Who?
people. So
There's two, four, six people in the village people.
I
Who were
mean,
your? Who would you pick as your six village people?
who would I? I don't. I'm gonna plead the fifth. The Fifth Amendment is where you don't say shit that'll incriminate you. So I'm gonna do that
this
here
is
now.
this is uh, this is true. I don't know. Who would you seriously? Who would you pick as your cowboy?
Clint Eastwood.
Who's already a cowboy?
Yeah, so he fits.
Okay, I guess.
Okay, so keep
What
on
about your
going. Let's keep
cop?
on. My cop would be Sheriff Alex Villanueva, L.A. County.
Why? My cowboy would be um this is why I don't like doing this because I don't know people's names. What is the
Give
dude with the
me.
broken nose?
Oh, Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson. That'd be my cowboy.
Okay.
Owen Wilson would be my cowboy. Who will we say next? The cop?
Let's go with construction worker. Who's your construction worker?
My construction worker would be John Cena.
All right. Who would be your army person?
Uh,
One of the black guys.
uh, does he have to be black?
I mean, if you want to get segregational, he doesn't have to be. Jesus Christ.
There's no Hispanic person here.
The native. It's like Jessica Alba in Fantastic Four. You can be the native, the Latin, the fucking kind of black with the good hair.
He's
Just cast her as
multicultural.
yes. So who is your
Oh,
oh
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba as the fucking army guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he can do an accent or not.
Okay, okay. So we've got Owen Wilson as your cowboy,
Definitely.
and then Idris Elba as the army guy.
Yep.
So I'm almost
John
scared.
Cena is my construction.
Yeah, John Cena is your construction worker.
Yeah.
So who would be your biker? Not bike cop, but the biker in chaps.
Mm. I'm going to say Stone Cold Steve Austin only because I want to see his butt.
Oh Jesus Christ!
I
I
love
was,
Stone Cold.
I was gonna say you could have
He could
said
be my
Howard.
cop too.
You can't.
I don't know. Now I'm
You can't.
conflicted.
Well, I mean, look at how conflicted they were, right? When you're thinking about like the 70s, right? You had
Yeah.
the cops versus the Hells Angels, but you have a, let's say, I don't know how you would quantify what the village people were, but members of the
Oh,
LGBTQIA
okay. I was gonna say
people
something else, but you're more
plus.
politically correct than what I was gonna say.
I mean, I fucked it up so many times. I mean, because there was a plus,
LG,
and then there was a
LGB,
minus, and then now there's a
LGBTQ keyboard is what I'm gonna call it.
IA. No, I mean, I want to be respectful. Like,
Yeah,
I don't want
it's
anybody.
every
That's just
letter
like,
and
people
number
like,
and
oh, you're an N word, and I'm like, no, I'm not. You fuck. It's like, well, because what do people always say? Like, oh, well, you guys call yourselves that. I was like, not me. You can get the fuck on with that. You call me an N word.
we're
I
gonna
don't care
fight.
if it's ER or GA. I don't give a shit. You come, no. That's
Wait, let's go back to my list. My list is pretty funny. Hold on.
okay. You want two Stone Colds as both cop and robber because you want to see
Um,
their butt.
what is the dude's name from D Generation?
Shawn
Not
Michaels.
Triple H. Yes.
Okay, so you want Stone Cold as the chaps biker.
Maybe I'll do Shawn Michael as my biker,
I mean,
and
he
I'll
did have
do
the
Stone
chaps.
Cold, and I'll do Stone Cold as my cop,
Okay.
and then I'll have to do The Rock as my indie.
Wow. Yeah, because that's the one, right? That's the one bit of representation that you get as a brown person of, I guess, the
But wait,
America's descent.
they all became WWE, so let's get Owen Wilson out of there and change it, because all of my people are WWE people except for Owen Wilson.
Okay, I mean,
Now that we, now that I break it down,
so who gets to be the cowboy now?
shit, I don't know who gets to be the cowboy now. I'm gonna say I don't know. Who would you put as your
I mean,
WWE cowboy?
there's only one person, but they are no longer here, so I can't really say that. But also, I know that this person would be able to pull it off because he
Who?
pulled. It's fucking Owen Hart. Owen
Oh,
Hart. Owen Hart could pull off anything. Good guy, bad guy. They put that fucker in the Nation of Domination with all black guys. Come on, and dressed his ass up like a fucking caution sign, and he still pulled that shit off. Come on, Owen Hart, fucking greatest of all time. That guy.
you're right.
Yeah. So I mean, that would to me
I
that
don't know. I don't know how I went from characters to WWE, but
it
that's
was.
just kind of how it
Oh,
felt.
it was your the 20 you're 21 and and then you classified some of it as the village people, and then yeah.
Did I?
Well, in my head you did, but we did stop off at the farmers market and whatever.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
right.
yeah. So you went, village people. We've been here, and I
We
don't.
went
I
we
like it
went
here.
village people on everything.
It's fine. It's fine.
But
But we're
that's what the
supposed.
United States is. The United States is a huge village people.
Yeah, and they should all stay at the YMCA. Do those even exist anymore?
Of course.
Do they?
There's YMCA's everywhere. They're so big and popular.
I mean, there's Boy Scouts everywhere, but like they ain't selling their cookies. That didn't sound right. That's not gonna age well at all.
Girl Scouts sell
Yeah.
cookies.
So I had this philosophical conversation with somebody. I might have been
I
my
know.
son, the one of the older ones, but it was like, what do the fucking Boy Scouts have? If the Girl Scouts have the cookies, How the fuck are Boy Scouts getting funded?
There's reports on that on the news.
There's what? Peloton on the news?
I said there is Pelotons, but there was reports about that on the news. But it's a
Oh,
different.
how they. You know what? Anytime you get like adult people and young boys, I feel like the molestation happens, right?
That's
You
the
know,
Catholic Church.
there's that, but then there's also like sports people that get molested when they were young. There's
Mhm.
like Boy Scouts that also there was a scandal that they had to pay out like shit tons of money within this last decade or whatever. I just
I'm wondering if the Girl Scouts carry the Boy Scouts, so that's why they don't do shit.
wow, that would be the like the first bit of like women's liberation. They're like, nah, I wear the pants, whatever the fuck, and yeah, boys, you gotta fucking shut the fuck down and get in the kitchen or something.
Because what? You're right. What do the Boy Scouts do? What do they sell?
Do you remember that? Fuck, I think it was called Bushwhacked with a homeboy, Daniel Stern from Home Alone, not Joe
Yes.
Pesci. Yeah, and he fucking took out kids in the woods, but he he had fucking robbed somewhere or whatever the fuck. But
Uh
he was
huh.
like, they're like, here's our new scoutmaster general, whatever the fuck, and
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And he showed up like, in a leather fucking jacket and fucking leather slip-on shoes to go out in the fucking wilderness with 30 kids.
Right.
I, that was amazing. But that's the extent of the Boy Scouts in which I know. Is like
I
uh,
don't understand the concept.
I know there was like Scouts honor, right? And so I guess they take an oath, right? Because they're like, oh,
I'm
I'm
not
not
that
lying,
trustworthy.
right? And then I feel like getting badges and shit. That's a thing. Especially if you go into the woods and then you come out alive, which is different than like old school martial arts where a
Hmm.
motherfucker would carry a bag into the woods, right? Like this big ass bag into the woods talking about like I'm fighting a tournament and pick me up on Monday. And then come back with a big ass trophy but no bag.
Like Mortal Kombat?
No, did you see he went into the fucking thing with a bag.
What's in the bag?
He comes back 2 days later with no bag, but a big
Did he
ass
eat
trophy.
anything? What was in the bag?
The
Is it
fucking trophy, Claudia. He went in there and said he fought like three fucking jungle people and
wait,
whatever the fuck.
wait,
But he went
wait.
in there. Come on. That's like the fucking like old school like I fought a fucking 2 day tournament in the woods and everything. I need my
Wait,
gear, and he fucking takes the fucking bag, big ass bag, duffel bag, whatever, and I was like, pick me up on Monday, and he would come and fucking like with dirt all over, like he already fought, but there's no bag, but a big ass trophy because the people of the woods made him a fucking champion of the world or whatever the fuck. But also that was like during the times of like Sean Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal, where like like people actually believe that shit. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go off into the fucking whatever, just like Steven
that's
Seagal.
why I thought it was like Mortal Kombat.
No, it's not. I mean, Mortal Kombat is actually more realistic than some of those fuckers. Like, have okay. See, this is where we didn't know as a people. We fucking didn't know what we didn't know, because like we thought Steven Seagal was a badass, right? And he made all those fucking
Hmm.
movies. I think between either Dances with Wolves or a Steven Seagal movie, I feel like something with Hunt in the title. But that was the first time I saw like boobies on film. So shout out to you, whoever the fuck that is.
Boobies?
Boobies, like a woman's chesticles and what have you.
Got it. No, yeah, yeah, it's both.
Yeah. So, but
I don't
we thought
remember
he was a
the first movie I saw a penis in.
that had to be a porno because like no fucking Disney movies are getting down like that unless you believe in that conspiracy. Anyhow,
There isn't one actual movie that shows a penis.
other than a porno,
Yeah, they show
what?
boobies and butts on regular.
Yeah, on regular. I feel like this. The first time I saw that was like the first Blue Lagoon. You remember that movie?
Yeah,
You never seen Blue Lagoon with fucking Brooke Shields?
no, there's a penis in that.
I don't know if there. Yeah, because there was a rape scene, and I'm not sure if it was because okay. So there was two. There was like Island of the Blue Lagoon, and the dude didn't end up doing much of anything, and then the chick was Brooke Shields, like a young, like 16-year-old Brooke Shields, and then Brooke Shields didn't sign on for two. They kept Homeboy, but
Hmm.
they ended up getting, I shit you not, Mila Jovovich. Is that her name?
Mila Kunis.
No, this is like 1980, whatever. Mila Kunis might have not even been born.
This is
Um, the chick from The Fifth Element, the Lulu Dallas. She's in
oh,
Resident Evil.
right,
Mila
right.
Jovovich. I feel like
I don't
that's
know her name.
if
I'm
that's
I'm terrible with names.
I
I can't
and
remember people's
you
names for
can't
saving my life.
convince me that her name isn't Jojo Bitch. If they can have a movie named Jojo Rabbit, her last name is
Cast
Jojo Bitch.
of
Blue Lagoon 2.
Blue Lagoon 2.
Yeah.
Leela, Lily, oh, Mila
Jojo Bitch.
Jovovich.
See?
Vich.
Oh,
Vich.
oh, sorry.
Jovovich. It's
That's
not
what
a
that,
JoJo, it's a Jovo.
okay.
VOVI.
Mila Jovo Bitch.
No, Mila
That's like
Jovovich.
all of it of the hood that I have.
Dude,
That's
where
it.
is she from?
The land of Vitch.
It says she's an American actress.
She's
Okay,
not
but
a.
where is
I
she
mean,
from?
but I mean, there we go. Is that the chicken or the egg thing, right? Because she's been making
Where are her
American movies.
parents from?
The land of Jovovich.
She's from Ukraine.
Oh,
She's Ukrainian.
okay.
Soviet Union.
Oh, that's what Putin's all talking about, right? Because like Ukraine used to be a part of Russia, and
Right.
when they were, yeah. Ooh, I didn't know
But
how.
so why do they call her an American actress if she's not you- whatever?
I, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't make up the rules, but yeah. So I think there was a dude that was trying to rape her character in the Blue Lagoon. So essentially, what the Blue Lagoon was is like it was like a fucked up ass Pocahontas, but rather than like on Plymouth Rock in Massachusetts, it was like in the. It was basically this lady and her
Wait,
what
they show penises on Girls Trip.
on Girls Trip.
Have you seen that movie, Girls Trip?
Is that the one with Mila Kunis?
No. What's up with us and Mila Kunis? That's the that's the one
There's.
with Queen Latifah, Tiffany Haddish.
I feel like there's this thing that my wife watches, and it's like a bad girl something, and it has a.
Yeah, no, no, no. It's called Girls Trip with
Can we
not
really talk
strip.
about Girls Trip? Well, what did your Google fucking search come up to?
Girls Trip.
Girls Trip.
with Tiffany Haddish, Regina Hall, Queen Latifah, and Jada Pinkett Smith, where they go to New Orleans or New Orleans. I don't know how you say it. What?
Nolans.
You haven't seen that? Nolans,
No.
yes.
Well, I mean,
You
the
gotta watch
first,
it. It's fucking hilarious.
the first name and the last name. That's all I need to know. That I don't need to fucking watch that goddamn movie.
Jada Pinkett Smith,
And what was the first name?
Tiffany Haddish.
Yep.
You don't like Tiffany Haddish?
Have you seen that skit with her and Ari Spears?
No.
Ooh. Okay.
What is it?
Just search it up on the socials. I mean, we can't play it here.
No.
When we get off, you will
Remind
whatever.
me.
Yeah,
But
and
you have to
you.
watch Girls Trip though. It's
I
hilarious.
can. I just like I can't watch fucking, you know, Woody Allen films. I can't watch Elvis shit. I can't listen to Jerry Lee Lewis and or um, Ted Nugent.
I won't eat Chick-fil-A. I don't know if that's in the same vicinity.
I don't think Chick Fil A raped kids, but I mean, or had. I'm sorry, consensual relationships with underage kids. Also, Jerry Seinfeld. I forgot about that. At the height of his fucking Seinfeld, whatever, he was
Mhm.
dating a 17-year-old. He was still in high school. You didn't know this?
No, I really didn't.
I
But I don't eat Chick-fil-A because they are terrible to LGBT keyboard people.
okay, right on. McMack says, "Do you like that song "Girls on the Avenue"? I don't think I've heard it, sir. You need to
Who
send me a
sings
link.
that?
"Girls on the Avenue," not the Village People, because I opened
Who
up the
sings
tab.
Girls on the Avenue?
Girls on the
Richard Clapton.
what? Not Eric Clapton.
Richard Clapton.
Who the fuck is Richard Clapton? Wait, we don't know. You can't play it. You can't play it. You don't want to get kicked off of YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to hear the beginning of it.
Jesus Christ.
I have zero clue who that is.
Yeah. Wait, does he play fucking guitar?
Yes.
Bootleg ass fucking Eric Clapton. That's what I say. Jesus
That's what it
Christ.
sounds like. It looked like Eric Clapton though,
Oh my God, for real?
but a longer, taller, skinnier version with the hair.
Let's see. He's big as shit. The one I see.
Oh.
No, I don't. I don't know. Wow, this is a whole different. I didn't.
Person?
Yeah,
I like Eric Clapton.
I love Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton is the shit. My
Hmm.
goodness. I actually heard a story that Neil Sean from Journey, who is the guitarist from Journey, he actually was going to be in Derek and the Dominoes. Do you know what Derek and the Dominoes are? So after Clapton was in Cream, and he was slow hand with Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker. Well, I mean, he got into hard fucking drugs, like
Hmm.
cocaine, heroin, the whole fucking
Just the
deal.
song.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, 100%. So he was so fucked up during this period that he didn't want people who had already said that, oh man, like he Clapton is God when he was with Cream and that was the super group and shit like that. So he
Hmm.
was so fucked up and he didn't want people to see that he actually made up a pseudonym, a band called Derek and the Dominoes. But when you fucking listen to it and like, oh god, that's fucking Clapton. And if you went to go watch Derek and the Dominoes, a few fucking pubs that they played around England, it
Hmm.
was Clapton, but
Eric
he was like
Clapton.
he was fucked up, fucked up. Yeah. So you like Layla? Layla is
Mhm.
actually a Derek and the Domino. Like, if you, it's not. Yes, he's the songwriter, and he gets whatever, but its original release was Derek and the Dominoes. I
Mhm.
feel like there's another one too. There's another big hit that he has, and it was under the Derek and the
And
Dominoes. It
Dominoes.
wasn't. Yeah. But yeah,
Hmm.
Richard
Interesting.
Clapton. It's not Eric Clapton. Jesus
Not
Christ.
Eric Clapton. It's Richard
Don't.
Clapton.
Yeah. Girls on
Don't
the
listen
Avenue.
to it.
Yeah. So I guess Turkey Day. Fucking A.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
Yeah. I Yeah, it's Richard Clapton, not Eric.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell Richard Eric is better. Jesus Christ. Look, here's the deal. You refute me, right? Richard Clapton was not in a fucking one of the greatest three pieces in of all fucking humankind, right? When you talk about we need a fucking that's a whole nother subject, but like I have in my head like the greatest trios, and I'm not talking about lucha libre, but like the greatest like fucking
Music
yeah.
trios.
You got the Police, you got Rush, you got Jimi Hendrix and the Experience, Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble, Cream, the Police, fucking hey man, like shit, dude. Like that's a
I know
whole
all of those, and I did not know any of those were a trio.
yeah, fucking Los Lonely Boys.
I'm
Yeah,
terrible at all this
they're
crap. Like I
they're
don't.
three guys. Like all of those sounds. When you think about Rush and all that, that was just fucking three guys. Three
Hmm.
guys for fucking 40 years. Three guys. Police, three guys. Jimi Hendrix, three
I love the
guys.
police.
Stevie Ray Vaughan, three guys. Cream, three guys. You know, and Richard Clapton is really good. Girls on the Avenue is awesome song. I will definitely check it out. But I
As
will
soon as we get off,
here's what I'm saying. Richard Clapton wasn't in Cream. Richard Clapton.
it's not Eric Clapton.
Well, no, I was getting there. Richard Clapton wasn't so fucked up that he had hits under a fucking fake band name.
That you know of. You don't know if Richard Clapton had the same thing.
Please, I'm gonna Wikipedia Richard Clapton. Okay,
Wikipedia is so dumb. Like people edit it all the time. You can go
that's
in there and
fine.
edit it
Let's see.
and put in that he was toasted up the wazoo.
Okay, so his solo top 20 hits on the Can't Report singles charts are "Girls on the Avenue" from
She can't report it.
1975, "I Am an Island" in 1982, "Goodbye Tiger," "Hearts on
Rar.
the Nighttime" in 1977
Hearts
or
on the
79.
nighttime.
Yes,
But how
"The
does
Great
that go?
Escape" 1982. And okay, here he was a producer for the second In Excess album. That's not
Uh,
bad. That's not bad.
Micmac.
Yeah. No, but Mick Mac is from Australia, so he's got a rep. I mean,
Did you
I
see
see
what
what.
he
Yeah.
said?
I wrote on Wikipedia Adam Woods was a porn star. You know, they say according to the media credential team at Combate Americas, my name is Adams Wood.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it's my profile picture on the book face. Adams Wood.
I would die if
No,
find
fucking
it.
leave it. Shit,
No,
yeah.
that's fine. I'm just
Adams Wood.
saying.
Adams Wood. That's who I am. You know that fucking DMX song, "Who We Are and Who They Be." That's what I be. Is Adams
Adams would.
Wood. Fuck yeah. So
And with that said,
you know where you can find Adams Wood on all the socials. So according to Woods is where you can find me, a Principal Podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Also being simulcast on bodyslam.net. Also on the social medias, because when I'm not doing podcasts, I fucking just post people fucking themselves up and I put it to cool music. And Claudia, where can they find you on the socials?
You can find my Instagram and Twitter at cc_272, just like it's right there.
Right there. So everybody have a good Turkey Day. And if you don't celebrate the Turkey
Enjoy your
Day,
Turkey Day.
enjoy something. I don't know.
Enjoy Thursday.
Oh, Malcolm Young. Okay, wait. Hold on. Here we go. Fuck it. You know who is awesome? Steve Wright. The song Evie, parts 1, 2, and 3. He was in the Easy Beat along with Malcolm Young. Malcolm Young is the older brother of Angus Young from ACDC. But Malcolm he's the rhythm guitar player. Oh, well, he was before the dementia. But Malcolm Young was, one of the founding members of ACDC. So, the Easy Beats. Okay, I get it. Because I remember the behind the music of the of ACDC. So, yes. No. Okay, cool. All right. I'll give fucking Richard Clapton his just due, but he's no Eric. He's no Eric for sure. But with that being said, you guys, Mario Yamasaki's to all of you. Kick ass, kick more ass, and when you're done with that, kick more ass. We are out.
Bye.
Late.